In the view of Commission President Dr. Ursula von der Leyen, the negotiations between the UK and the EU need new impetus. The EU is ready to intensify the negotiations and is available around the clock, she wrote on Twitter. The British government in return believes that a trade agreement can be reached by July. Prime Minister Boris Johnson believes they are not really far apart and they just need some more pep in these negotiations. And he said that today, right after, for the first time, he took directly part in negotiations with the heads of the EU. He wants to go the faster the better, and he doesn't see any reason why they can't be successful in the course of July. He does not want the negotiations to drag on into autumn or winter. In a video conference on Monday, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, EU Commission President Dr. Ursula von der Leyen, EU Council President Charles Michel, EU Parliament President David Sassoli, and EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier discussed how to proceed with these negotiations. A message told that they agreed to first find an early agreement on the principles of the final agreement, and that's quite necessary because the UK left the EU already on January 31st. So by the way, if you always write, we want to leave, you already did on January 31st, you are out. It's only that during the transition phase, the UK remains in the single market and the customs union. And in this time, particularly, both sides want to agree on an agreement for the time after December 31st, when the transition period ends. The EU had given Britain the prospect of a free trade zone without tariffs or quotas. But in 4 rounds of negotiations so far, there has not been any real progress on that. But to be honest, the Europeans can be quite generous in this situation. All conditions on the fisheries agreement and in other areas have been dropped. And Michel Barnier suggests that compromises, for example, in the area of competition rules, are possible in principle. The only thing that will not be allowed is the UK cherry picking. And he presented a plan for steady negotiations for the next 3 months because there's only very little time left. An agreement would latest have to be sealed in October because it also needs to be ratified in 28 countries then. He wants the delegations to meet in person again, alternating between Brussels and London. One had to ascertain that trade negotiations via video conference are quite useless. The really delicate question would have to be clarified over the summer. How much does the EU accommodate the UK in the rules of origin? How much government aid can British businesses receive? How is the UK financial market approved in the EU? And so on and so on. Neither side has made any progress yet, and that is about key economic issues. A UK government spokesman said before this video conference of Boris Johnson, von der Leyen, etc., that this video conference of the leading personnel of the EU and the UK should advance negotiations. Boris Johnson actually wanted to personally pressure the EU leaders to get concessions at the summit this week. He does believe in the effectiveness of his own charisma. But the corona crisis weakened him politically and personally, and a video conference with Ursula von der Leyen is no substitute. And anyway, the head of the Commission has no mandate from the EU 27 to make any significant concessions to the British. Minister of State Michael Gove already informed the EU last Friday that the UK government does not want to extend the transition phase. And after all these warnings before, that came as no surprise. He had previously communicated that British decision to the EU-UK Joint Committee in Brussels. Only then to explain that the UK government is making the sovereign decision to postpone border controls on the British sides for half a year after January 1st. As a reason, the Johnson confidant said that they want to give more time to the UK economy to prepare for it. British companies are obviously right now still dealing with the consequences of the corona crisis and are in no condition to process further changes. And to be honest, nothing is really prepared for day X. And before you hit me for that sentence again, the UK government has already admitted that they have no clue where to conduct the checks on trucks from the continent. The port of Dover is far too small and they have to set up the checkpoints somewhere in Kent. The UK also needs 50,000 new customs officials and at the moment is really struggling with its IT capacity. According to Gove, all this is supposed to be resolved within these 6 months. The EU, on the other hand, announced that they will not move with that. The EU will still start inspecting its ports from the beginning of 2021. And politically, the UK government's tough course has few friends. Both Scotland and Welsh officials have declined to speak to Boris Johnson how to proceed now. Both regions had urged to extend the transition phase. From their point of view, it's even insane to add the damages from a hard Brexit to the damages already happening by the corona crisis. The majority of the British public thinks the same. There was a new opinion poll by YouGov, by the way, where a majority wanted to extend, but Boris Johnson is still proceeding and seems determined to take the final detachment from the EU quickly under all circumstances. For this, the hard Brexiteers in his party, who had pushed for the withdrawal for years, applaud him in particular. And Boris Johnson will have to rely on them when the consequences of this, let's say, a bit rushed exit at the end of the year will become clear in the beginning of next year. And because the Prime Minister made many mistakes in the corona crisis, there were many deaths and the country hardly got out of the lockdown, he lost a lot of his political capital. In some polls, he's now on par with opposition leader Sir Keir Starmer. The crash of the UK economy even threatens to become much deeper than that of the EU economy. And that means that Boris Johnson is negotiating with the EU from a position of weakness over the next few months. And if you now want to know more about European politics from a German point of view, I put my next video here in the end screen. Click and enjoy. I'll see you there. Viel Spaß!